Blossoms, and we are back with more Hakuoki Blossoms, and we're back where we left off in the cliffhanger in the last part because our conversation was going along. We had two very beautiful CGs in the last part, so and we had a very touching, beautiful conversation with Sun, and it just rips my heart out. I can't. I'm just really sad that this is like only the fourth part, and we're pretty much at the fucking end of his route. Like I'm kind of mad that his route is so fucking short, but at the same time, it is like so much better than every other one. I'm sorry, it's goddamn amazing. Like, oh my god, he's been so sweet and romantic since the very beginning, and it's killing me. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I love him so much. I don't know. It's really weird though to say that after this, I have really fucking high hopes for Yamazaki, because Yamazaki's route was great in the first game. Because I was like, Yamazaki, like, he's cool. Like, he's a cool character, right? And then we did his route, and you were like, oh my god, you're so adorable. When did this happen? Like, I wasn't expecting that. So I'm just really expecting Yamazaki's route to be, like, fucking amazing. If this is this amazing, his route's gonna blow me out of the water. If it doesn't, I'll be disappointed. But, I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's all downhill from here, because I just can't with this route. But we're at the end, like, I mean, we're in chapter 4. I don't know. We just only have one choice, which is coming up now to give him blood, and then that's it. So, and then we got our bad endings. So, we're definitely ending it in this part. We're getting our final chapter and everything, and we might start a bad ending. So, we might have one part after this to finish up the bad endings, or, do all the bad endings. But that's it. And it's like, his route is literally like 4 parts, and everyone else has been like 6, 7, like, are you, wait, what? What? I just feel sad about that. So yeah. So he was about to, because he needs blood, of course, right in the middle of our beautiful touching moment. So that's exactly where we were and where we jumped off. So in the middle of his sentence, Sun clenched his chest. It was unmistakable. This was bloodlust. I decided to give him blood. Here, take me. Here, take me. I trust you. Have some of my blood. Out of reflex, I drew out my kodachi and slit my wrist. Ah! She cut her arm, not her wrist. Jesus. I told you, I can't live without you. And if your survival depends on blood, mine's yours to take. Please, there's no need to hold back. I'm yours. So use me as you please. Damn, girl. I mean, that's exactly how I feel inside. I can't believe you said it. Please, Sonnen, drink my blood. Okay, I wasn't going to go that far. Obviously, in the context of the game, yes. But, like, otherwise, wow, no, everything you said was great. That's good. I like that. And if he doesn't, like, throw you down and literally take you, there's a problem. Or he's just being way too gentlemanly. Thank you, Yukamura. I'm indebted to your kindness. I cannot let myself die yet. So, for the cause, allow me to savor the taste of you. Please fucking do. Jesus! Jesus! This path, it's just because I love him so fucking much that, like, now when they say things, I'm like, damn! It's like whoever, wrote his path was like, I got this. Like, everyone's like, look at how great this path is. This part's great. Hold my beer. Hold my sake. What's this? Like, the fuck? They're like, hell shall taste you. What the? Woo! They just knew. They're like, someday there's going to be some crazy bitch sitting on a bouncy ball in her living room playing this game and is going to fall the fuck off of it when she reads this shit. And that's, you're welcome. It happens. Yes. I'm sure I am not the only person who is like, needs to fan themselves or like literally fucking lost their shit. I'd like to point out that the guide I use, in black, she blacked it out, but it said, this route is one of my favorites. That wasn't really spoilery, so she didn't need to block it out, but, like, it was going to be one of my favorites because Sonnen is one of my favorites. But, like, I understand why you think that. If he wasn't one of your favorites to begin with, fucking is after this. You're like, son of a bitch! You know? Just like Yamazaki in the first one wasn't my favorites. But his route was awesome, and I'm like, you won points. Yamazaki, your route was one of my favorites. But, like, this, Jesus. Anyway. As you wish. Oh. Savor the taste of you as you wish. Damn. Oh, I'm just going to imagine the things that happened in this blackout screen. Okay, so we could have done that in the last part. I'm sorry. But if I hadn't stopped it, it would have gone on and on and on and on and on and on. We would have had this additional conversation, and 10 minutes later, it would be like, are we done with this? But because I didn't, 2 minutes. I mean, it's been 5, but I ramble a lot, so. Moonlight cloaked behind thin clouds shone above us. It was a muted glow, enough to underscore the feeling of loneliness as I sat inside of my bedroom. I leaned my head against the wall, trying not to fall into a daze from the flurry of anxious thoughts. Could you please? Okay, this is no time for propriety or being good. You'd be like, look, just in case something happens and you die, can we just have sex right now? Because I need you once before you turn to ash or get murdered. I, I know we're going to end happily ever after. If he dies at the end of this, I'm going to be pissed. He's going to die in the bad endings, I'm sure, but. I wanted, instead, to think about his face. Oh, Sonnen. He had overcome so much strife and turmoil, and even being temporarily replaced by Ito, in order to retreat to in order to reassert his worth, he did the unthinkable, sacrificing his humanity by drinking the water of life. Well, at first, he had been able to regain his place, came at the cost of a life lived in obscurity. Even as the burden of his duties increased, as the shogunate continued to wage its unwinnable war, he was ostracized, left to wither alone into dust. If we had come along a little bit sooner and loved him, come along in his life a little bit sooner, maybe he wouldn't have taken the water of life because we could have convinced him, like, I understand, you still have value here, I know you hurt yourself, and then he wouldn't have lost his humanity. He wouldn't be able to use his arm, but he wouldn't be, like, on the verge of dying, and he wouldn't have had to kill Heisuke. I'm just saying. Timing. Fuck you, universe! You screwed it up by making me show up a little bit too late. We could have prevented all of this. You just made me show up like a year before. I don't know. Just saying. Anyway. Yeah. No matter what Sonnet had said to explain it, what did anyone have to do to deserve this unjust fate? Of course, he wasn't completely innocent, nor was he merely an observer to how things unfolded. I wasn't sure if anyone, least of all myself, could fault him for trying to shape his life for the better. Oh, love will let you justify him murdering his best friend. But, what else? There's so many things I wish I could say to him. Not just to son and to you and father as well. Why? Whoa. Why are we talking to Kaoru? What the fuck?
So you still insist on calling him father, even though I've already told you the truth, huh? Wake up already, would you?
Kaoru periodically appeared at my doorstep with condescending taunts and fits of laughter. No matter how often he visited me, however, I could never restrain my anger when he opened his mouth. Why are you here today, Kaoru? If you're going to try and convince me again to cooperate with father, then you might as well turn and leave now.
Hey now, what kind of host turns a guest away? Didn't you just say you wanted to talk with me?
I have to sneeze. Ooh, that came out violent.
Well, either way, I'm happy to hear you say it. Honestly, I couldn't care less about convincing you.
What? I thought you and father were collaborating together.
Well, not exactly. In return for my help, he promised to make me head of the Yukimura clan when all's said and done. I can't say I'm too thrilled on what he's got in store for the world, though. Besides, he left me out to dry when I was a young boy. I don't trust him one bit.
Kaoru gave a cold smirk. I still don't feel bad for you, and you can go rot in a hole. Both father and myself were easily convinced of Kaoru's loyalty to father's cause, but perhaps he had an ulterior motive for joining, and I felt uneasy wondering what he was plotting too. Jesus, they're all fucking backstabbing each other. This is great. The drama in this, this part could go on for 6 more chapters of just this backstabby, underhandedness. It's amazing. Then Kaoru...
Wait, let's have this conversation later. I came to show you something I thought might interest you.
Were you expecting me to come willingly?
Well, when you put it like that, you can stay here in this dingy room if you want. No sweat off my back. I just figured you'd want to be there to see those 2 lady friends of yours get executed.
What? Kaoru was intentionally dragging his feet as he escorted me to Shirakawa Castle's common room. Wasn't Shirakawa... Now that I'm looking... Well, okay, it's because of this room. But was Shirakawa Castle the one where... in Saito's route, where, we kicked Kazama's ass? Just wondering. Anyway, I'm gonna guess that Sanen's gonna let them free and they're all gonna fight and, whatever. Hey, what's with the video camera up here? Doesn't it look like a video camera? It's like a flower, but it's like a video camera. Hidden camera. Interesting. In its heyday, the common room hosted plenty of noble guests for diplomatic and luxurious feasts. At the head of the table stood Sonnen and Father. There was no table. Details. In the center of the hall were Sen and Kimigiku, encircled by a menacing group of Furies, all of whom licked their lips and had red, glowing eyes. Sen! Kimigiku!
My deepest apologies, Spacey. We had come to rescue you, but...
I had never expected Sonnen to locate us. The fault lies with me and me alone. Sonnen, why would you... Sonnen, what happened? A funny story, actually. I heard word of intruders entering the castle, and lo and behold, imagine who I happened to find. Without a minute of waste, I captured them, bound them, and had them brought here for all to see. What? When Sonnen had mentioned precarious actions, I thought he meant something dangerous for me, but... Sen and Kimigiku? They didn't deserve this. Excellent work, Sonnen. The Shinsengumi has no idea what they're missing. I couldn't have bred a guard dog better myself. What an honor. From deputy commander to a guard dog of Shirakawa Castle. The father ignored Sonnen's snide remark as he stared back at Sen. I hope Sonnen gives us a look that we're like, okay. Well, Spacey, since we already have you in our custody, then there's little else for us to do with these intruders. Father, please don't! Don't you dare touch them! Now, there's no need to fret. The Princess of Yase will make a fine test subject with that blood of hers. Her life will be spared, I promise. The Yase girl's servant, however, is of no use to me. What to do with this one? Spare me the judgment. Your connection to the Yukamura clan is tenuous at best. Father hadn't reacted to Kimigiku's snide remark either, instead keeping his gaze fixed upon Sen. He tilted his head in eerie contemplation, playfully stroking his chin as he deliberated aloud. My, what a stroke of fortune to have two women of pure-blooded descent at our disposal. If perhaps one of you took the initiative in helping to further our cause, then I might grant you mercy. So if I agree to help you, you'll spare their lives?
He's lying! Do not fall for his tricks!
You're more than welcome to decline. Just know I'll be forced to use the Princess of Yase in your stead. Choose wisely. Fine. Under one condition. Let Sen and Kimigiku go free.
Spacey!
I was hoping to hear you say that. I've always known you were a smart girl, my child. No, I'm kind of stupid, but although I could hear the tinge of sarcasm in his words, I felt so defeated that there was no use in becoming riled by his taunts. I couldn't see myself living at the expense of Sen or Kimigiku's lives, so it was the logical conclusion. Besides, if my blood was all they had needed, then surely it wouldn't be as bad as I imagined. Oh, that's what Father... No, if this is what Sonnen wants, then all the more reason for me to give in to their demands. Oh, before I forget Sonnen... Father's sudden aside deflated any and all hope I had. A terrifying glimmer appeared in his eyes, as if he were twisting a knife into my gut with pleasure. What? Please escort my daughter back to her room. See to it that she never sees the outside of her door for the rest of her days. What do you mean by that? Well, from this day forth, we'll be drawing blood from her as required by our tests. I see no need for her to roam freely. It's for our convenience, really. If we had known that she would eventually cooperate, then we could have saved ourselves loads of time, eh? Asking you to sway her was foolish of me, Sonnen. Oh, I suppose I should have known allowing her to explore Ito at her whim was my first mistake. If I hadn't done that, then she would have never joined the Shinsengumi and wasted all of our time. Wasted all of their time? He was calling my time with the Shinsengumi all of the lessons, the memories and friends, a waste?
Kodo! Have you any idea how worried this girl was about your well-being? How long she had spent searching for you? You insult her and yourself by deeming her efforts a waste.
It's fine, Sen. Nothing any of us said or did could make a difference. His father had fallen into a depravity I couldn't follow. He was no longer the father whom I loved. My heart felt blank, and as Sonnen approached me, I shot him a somber look. Wasn't he torn up about all of this as well? He's just really good at hiding it. I felt compelled to speak, to get through to Sonnen. Sonnen, do you also feel like all of this was a waste of time? As in, when I first introduced myself to you, and the rest of the Shinsengumi, do you regret the time we spent together? Did it mean nothing to you? He's like, nah, I just wanted to get laid before I die. We don't know that happened. I'm going to pretend that happened. What's the matter, Sonnen? You're on the cusp of glory. Everything you've wanted is here, and now our blood is yours for the taking. Do so before it's too late. My blood was yours for the taking before you left the Shinsengumi. I just want to point that out. At last, the missing component is within your grasp. All that you fought for has culminated to this. You can rid yourself of those horrid side effects and resume being human, just as you've wished. Think of your men, your friends. This isn't just for you. All of them are counting on your decision. And there's only one way to save them. Open your eyes. Yeah, open your eyes and look at me. Yes, you're right. Sonnen met my eye and slowly reached his hand to grab my wrist. I held my breath, imagining the terrible fate awaiting me once we walked back to my room when... Sonnen quickly spun around, blinding me with a flash of light from the sudden unsheathing of his sword. Blood splashed upwards like a plume of smoke from Father's chest. Sonnen shook nervously, clutching his blood-stained sword to the side of his right hip. Father's eyes widened incredulously as he wavered for a moment before falling to his knees. What is the meaning of this, Sonnen? You dare betray me? Betray? How can there be betrayal where there's no loyalty? It was a mutual agreement. I required your notes, and in return, I assisted you in producing more Furies. Our relationship was a matter of circumstance. Surely you understand. There's still much for us to do. You have no reason to betray me. Trust in me, and together, we'll find the cure to save you from turning to ash. Enough of these games, Kodo. Nothing you say will entice me further, as I've already made my decision. I've long since shed my aspirations of returning back to a human. As such, I've no use for you. So you've given up, have you? Content to live the rest of your days alone in hiding, till that rotten flesh of yours turns to sand? No. Unlike you, I'm not alone. I have someone with me whom I can depend on, whether or not I'm a Fury. Oh god, I love him so much. I just want to clutch her to... Oh god, this is beautiful, honey. I love you. Our lives will go on without your help. Death may come for all of us, but at least I can greet him with a smile. Dreams are worth pursuing, no matter how childish or improbable they may seem. Sonnen turned coolly to wink at me. Oh my god, causing my chest to flutter with warmth. I know he didn't even actually wink, and I'm just like, Never took you for an idealist. Grandstand all you want, but as I recall, it was you who betrayed the Shinsengumi and murdered one of his closest allies in desperation, wasn't it? I bet Toto is rolling over in his grave from listening to your pathetic diatribe. He didn't actually kill Heisuke. Yeah, I knew it! I knew he didn't kill Heisuke! Oh! I was worried when he said he did, and I was like, I'm really worried that you actually did, but I was really hoping that he didn't. That he purposely stabbed him. Like, I stabbed him in the heart, but we saw him dying. He was just in pain. Oh, he didn't kill. Oh, God! I'm so happy. It was going to be really hard. I was like, when we had the kiss thing, I was like, I kind of did forget that you killed Heisuke. Gonna have to deal with that. We're just gonna have to pretend it didn't happen in my mind. I'm just gonna pretend it didn't happen. Ah, yay! Excuse me? Who's rolling over where? Yay! This is like seeing Yamazaki alive in Okita's realm. Only better because we thought Sonic killed him, but he didn't. Ah! My faith wavered. I'm not gonna lie, it totally wavered. But I'm glad to see that my original this is all just shenanigans. This is all just bullshit, right? Oh my god, was right. From the distance, a voice harshly interrupted Father. As we all gazed around in confusion, a fat flash of light occurred, and gruesome lacerations appeared all over the Furies encircling Sen and Kimigiku. I wiped my eyes with both of my hands, unsure if I was hallucinating when I saw...
How about you let me speak for myself, will ya?
Heisuke!
Sorry for the suspense. Spacey, I'm a little late in rescuing you.
How? I thought Sonnen murdered you. I'm so glad you didn't.
Have he murdered me? Could I do this? See? I can walk and talk and everything. Well, to tell you the truth, it's a long story.
Enough of this, you cretin! Furies, attack Toto! Leave no survivors! It's only one. Father's voice trembled with rage, and all of the surviving Furies suddenly sprinted toward Heisuke, Sen, and Kimigiku in a ravenous spree. Hey, he said Heisuke, he didn't say anything about those two. The two demons, however, subdued the Furies easily, proving they were mobile all along.
Pardon the charade, but we too wanted to be sure of Spacey's safety before breaking free.
Princess, keep your guard up. My life had turned upside down in an instant. I was dumbfounded, lost in the spectacle of the chaos unfolding in front of me. Sonnen, you arranged this rescue for me? And Toto wasn't dead. This whole thing. It's like a surprise party. Oh my god, like a Shinsengumi style surprise party. This is so great. It's hilarious. It was almost too good to be true. Uh-oh.
You planned this all along, didn't you, Sonnen?
Why, yes. How astute of you to notice. If I hadn't played coy, then there's zero chance that either of you would have provided me with information. And so, Toto and I arranged to falsify his murder, and he disappeared for a brief time. My act of deception worked, as otherwise, you would have never let your guard down around me. But he never intended us to be involved.
Whatever, Sonnen. Deception or not, you still stabbed me. What were you gonna do if I didn't plan on playing along?
Well, I trusted you from the start. We've been friends for some time now, haven't we? I love you so much. The two exchanged genial smiles, and suddenly everything came together. I couldn't contain my own giddiness, realizing that Sonnen had been 2 steps ahead this entire time. One by one, Sonnen, Heisuke, Sen, and Kimigiku hacked the incoming Furies, and blood splattered over almost every surface in the common room. It went from like, yay, to like, oh, that was a little gruesome. You really had me going. And the fact that Heisuke was alive, or that Sen and Kimigiku weren't in real danger, you could have told me about all this. I feel like a fool for being the only one in the dark. I was flustered and truly, deeply afraid. Forgive me. I couldn't bear to risk Koda becoming privy to our plans. Not telling you may have been the difference between success and failure. I'll give you that, because I suck at everything. And yet, I take responsibility for having allowed it to progress to this point. Numerous opportunities to free you were made available to me, but... Sonnen's voice trailed off, and he thinned his eyes as he directed a glare towards Father. Moments like this are rare. I wanted to watch him suffer the taste of betrayal, just as he had you. There was neither humor nor levity in Sonnen's eyes. Oh my god, he loves us so much, he's like, I'm gonna make your father feel the betrayal he made you feel, motherfucker. So romantic! In a fucked up weird way, but still. Behind Sonnen's glasses, I watched hatred fester like wildfire. Father, too, caught sight of this and gasped. All has become clear to me. I welcomed you with open arms, thinking of your potential, but, like the rest, your folly is your dependence on your emotions. At the end of the day, you're a pathetic man, unable to cast aside his human attachments. His human attachments are what are fun for me and... Oh, that's not what you meant. Okay, you meant like friend and family attachment, like emotional attachment. Okay, I thought you meant physical attachment. Whatever.
Spacey has to make everything inappropriate.
Father raised a hand in the air, making a strange movement which prompted the room's doorways to open, revealing a frightening horde of Furies. A frightening flock of Furies. There weren't just 10 or even 20 of them. A multitude of Furies suddenly had us surrounded. How much is in a multitude? Anybody? Causing my stomach to sink like a stone. 1, 2. That's actually 12. There's only 12, so. So she said, not even 20. Right, 12. A multitude is 12.
A wouldn't you say?
It's only 12 on this side. It's 24 is a multitude. Okay. 2 dozen. I had thought it inconceivable for this many Furies to exist, but I have been proven wrong. Impressive, isn't it? Wag your swords as you please, but I can see the fear in your eyes as you cower in front of my army. I believe you're mistaken. Why don't we let our swords do the talking, shall we? Bark all you want, little pup, but you'll regret those words. Furies attack! Upon Father's command, the Furies spurred into motion, pointing their ferocious eyes towards us. It was do or die, and I took a deep gulp. Yeah, because we're useless, so like, ah! Right in front of me, a Fury spun on his heel before beheading his nearby comrades, and their heads soaring to the air, propelling by... Wait, what? Right in front of me, a Fury spun on his heel before beheading his nearby comrades, their heads soaring into the air, propelled by geysers of blood. The Furies are killing each other? It set off like a chain reaction as each of the Furies began eviscerating their own in barbarous fashion. Barbarous fashion. A bloody pandemonium erupted, and as the brutal display continued, Father gazed on in horror. What is the meaning of this? Why are they attacking each other? Because they monsters. Has the senility finally gotten to you, old man? You seem to have forgotten one crucial detail in allowing me to join your esteemed ranks. Not all of the Furies here belong to you. At one point, they were proud members of the Shinsengumi. I love this route so much. I took a gander around the room in awe. Hidden among the ranks of wolfish Furies were warriors whose eyes maintained a semblance of sanity. I recognized them as former Shinsengumi warriors. It was the Fury Corps, here to save us from peril. Colonel Sonnen, reporting for duty. We're Furies, but first and foremost, we're men of the Shinsengumi. I love it. The world doesn't deserve to be cursed by our affliction. No more innocent lives will suffer. Oh, you guys are great. Compared to Father's Furies, the Shinsengumi's Fury Corps were adept, seemingly invincible against a tide of makeshift, weak-willed warriors. Because they're Shinsengumi men, they have... You know what I mean? It's not like... like me. You turn me into a Fury. I'm not going to be able to sword fight a Shinsengumi Fury. I mean, come on, seriously? That would also be weird because they're all, like, dead. No, I'm just saying. You know, normal fucking farmer dude. Like, I mean, give me a pitchfork and motherfucker, I'm going to go to town. And, like, a torch. Woo! Burn the castle! Right? That's what the people in the villagers do to... Because this is a castle full of, like, vampires, right? That's what we're supposed to... Pitchforks and torches. Right? That's what we do. Anyway. The Shinsengumi men roared, hurling men forward as they sunk their blades into their enemy's flesh. For Sonnen, it was a master stroke, the finishing play and a strategic betrayal against my father. God damn you! I'm pretty sure God's damning you and propping up Sonnen. Hold on, sorry. Oh, whoops. Did I accidentally... Oh, good, okay. I don't know. A thorough embarrassment... Oh, I was reading that, like, myself. Oh, hold on. Sorry, I accidentally turned my fucking paragraph off. Okay. A thorough embarrassment indeed. I expected better of your precious Furies, but alas, I was wrong. I tire of these games, Kodo. I demand that you surrender all of your research and notes related to your Fury experiments at once. Damn, Sonnen. Sorry. You dare ask me to surrender after all that I've done? I was inches from greatness. To hell with your surrender. I don't need you. Burn in hell, you worthless swine. That hurts my voice. Can we kill him now so I don't have to keep reading his voice? Father was desperate, backed into a corner by Sonnen. He stuffed his hand into his pockets, searching for a second until he pulled out a glass vial with red liquid. He already took that, though. The water of life. Why did I read that in the weirdest... Whatever. The water of life. I can't read... Sonnen's voice, angry. I can't do it. Anyway. Right you are. But this is nothing like the swill drank by some of those lower foot soldiers. This batch of serum was cultivated under the most rigorous of standards, with double the concentration. He's going to end up blowing up. Father, stop! If you take the serum, you'll only do yourself more harm. Father ignored my words smugly, bringing the glass vial to his lips. Just as he was about to swallow the serum... Enough, Kodo! Kaoru's voice cut through the noisy discord, and all of us gasped as he shoved his blade into Father's chest. Huh? Blood began spewing from his mouth, dribbling down his chin as he dropped lifelessly to the ground. His murderer wore a devilish grin, taking pleasure in the sight of his kill. Still hate you, still hope you die. But whatever, thanks for that. What is the meaning of this, Nagumo? I believed you and Kodo to be allies.
Allies? With him? The thought makes me gag. I've been waiting for the opportune moment for ages, and I'm lucky I stumbled upon you to assist me.
That's really loud. Sorry. Kuro kneeled beside Father, who was having a spasm in a pool of his own blood, before whispering,
Hey, Kodo, you promised me that I could run the Yukimura clan, didn't you? Remember telling me how, if I followed you, catered to your every whim, only then would you reward me? Huh, I bet you regret every stupid choice you made, don't you? When you chose Spacey over me and banished me off to the Nagumo clan. I never asked for power. That was what you wanted. All I really wanted was to rescue my helpless sister, counting down the days until I could see her face as I hoisted her into my arms from her depraved captors.
oh, don't give me this fucking bullshit like you've been wanting to help me all along and you're on my side, because I don't fucking believe that for a second, motherfucker. Because, like, yeah, you're a bitter douchebag. It's not my fault that you're a boy and you just want to be a girl and you got some fucking emotional issues. So, see a therapist, work them out. It's not my fault. Jesus.
But what happened? All along, my sister never knew of her demon heritage and was free to live among mankind. Adding insult to injury, she never knew I existed. So now I have a new wish.
Oh. See, why are you blaming me for this bullshit?
Spacey! I'm gonna destroy everything you hold dear. We are siblings. How is it fair that I was made to suffer and you weren't? Answer me!
That's not my fucking fault, you little cunt waffle. Someone kill this motherfucker. Kaoru punctuated his scathing diatribe with a swift kick in Father's lifeless body before glaring at me. He was far gone, beyond the point of return. Kaoru, do you hate me?
No, I love you. It's because I love you that I must make you understand why my shattered heart still beats.
Someone kill him. You are angry at your life, so you hate me. I mean, I understand that. It's usually you're angry at the person, like, twins were separated. You were treated like shit. She was treated great. You hate her for that. But it's not her fault. She didn't know about you. She didn't know any of this. You should be angry at the people who did this to you, not... Because they also did it to me. No, I mean, I had a great life and yours sucked. But, like, you know what I mean? They didn't tell me I had a brother. They were going to raise me to be a fucking blood bank. Like, hello? Not exactly a picnic is all I'm saying. Kind of a picnic. A nice picnic, but there were ants, okay? There were ants in the picnic is all I'm saying. Then, you should have approached me first. Why did you have to kill Father?
You defend him? After it was he who allowed the humans to destroy Yukimura Village before he abducted us for himself. You were given a blessed life, while the Nagumo clan tortured me and made my life a living hell. It was his fault, and I vowed one day to punish him for dooming me to despair. I just never thought the chance would ever arise.
Kuro yanked the bloody sword from out of Father's chest, sauntering towards me with contempt. Light glimmered faintly atop the blade, pointed at my neck.
Spacey, time to make the two of us even.
Saman. And Heisuke? Maybe. Both. I saw both. But... Yay! Oh, God. Look at Sun and when he gets angry and his eyes get like that... Oh, my God. Why is he so fucking sexy? I can't even handle it. Sanan and Heisuke came to my rescue, thwarting my twin brother before his blade could touch me. Keisuke and Heisuke. I love it. I love that their names rhyme. The tip of Sanan's sword was thrust into Kaoru's heart, while Heisuke restrained Kaoru's ribcage. Wow. That was fast.
How? How can a demon lose to a fury?
Because you're angry and he's better than you. Neither of us are strangers to demons nor furies.
That's right. Strip aside all the fancy bullshit, and you're still nothing to the art of the sword. That can't be. I was supposed to be the head of the Yukamura clan.
There's only 2 of us, so I mean, like. Well, your crown awaits you in the afterlife with the Yukamura clan. As Kaoru toppled over, a figure appeared behind him. Ah, shit! It was Father, slovenly and coated in dried blood. He clutched a ripped piece of fabric from Kaoru's shirt in his hand. I realized in hindsight that Father was the one to pull Kaoru from charging forward to kill me. Father, why?
Still, you wonder. I saw someone threaten to murder my daughter before my own eyes, and I just stood up.
Father could barely support his own weight, and he pressed his hand over his chest in pain. You know what, though? I know this is supposed to be your redeeming moment, but no, I don't believe it.
Sonnen, if you still desire to stop your body from disintegrating, drink the water of the Ironlands. From what I've gathered, there is something in the water that deters the serum's effects. That is all I know.
Sorry. I'm way over dramatic. Drama's like I'm like fucking 12 right now.
If you still seek answers, then you must go where the serum originates. You must head west.
Father, please! You can make it! Kodo, you mustn't die yet. There's still...
I leave my daughter in your hands.
Now he's black and white. Oh, do you turn to ash? Father took one last breath and dropped to his knees. As his body met the ground, he exploded into a cloud of ash and disappeared into dust. Thank you, Father. Damn. Kodo Yukamura's plan to infect the world with the vile water of life had come to an abrupt end. With it, my father's legacy and name had been tarnished. Both Sen and Kimigiku, having performed their duties, traveled back to Kyoto within their hidden village. Involvement in human affairs had normally been forbidden, but this, I think, was a special case. Knowing Sen, I felt that they would continue to keep a watchful eye on our people from the shadows. Heisuke and the rest of the Fury Corps, however, having seen to it that Father's plot was put to an end, planned to resume their fight against the Imperial Army. It was time for Sanan and I to depart from Shirakawa Castle, and Heisuke was escorting us to the entrance. We had delayed our bittersweet farewell for as long as we possibly could. Mist obscured the dense forest outside of the castle, and we relied on the moon's graceful silver light to exchange our fond words. It really is. For the Furies, moonlight was a welcome, refreshing sight, and they could walk and roam freely under its dazzling gleam. The friendly chatter of the Shinsengumi's Fury Corps hummed around us as we spoke with Heisuke. Heisuke, where do you plan on going from here?
First things first, I plan on taking the Fury Corps back to the Shinsengumi. The fight's still going strong, and I'm sure that sooner or later they'll need our assistance.
Indeed. To be frank, I'm surprised that the Shogunate armies, forces, have lasted as long as they have. I don't. As time becomes more desperate, I'm certain that they'll call upon any means necessary. That I must...
Sonnen, don't you have something else to do first?
Sonnen was taken aback by Heisuke's sudden interruption.
The Furies won't last in the long run without a cure. Oh, we need you to help us develop that cure so that one day we can emerge from the shadows.
Oh, hug him. Hug poor little Heisuke. You're gonna die! Keep in mind, though, there is no guarantee that a cure exists, nor have I any idea of how long developing one could take.
Well, all we've got is time at this point. You're our only hope now.
He's their Obi-Wan. He's their only hope. Perhaps you're right. Then I vow to you that I'll return to you with an antidote. Heisuke smiled warmly back at Sonnen and myself. In spite of their harrowing circumstances, these men placed their faith in us and helped us prevent the world from plunging into bleak ruin. Yet, no record of their heroism would ever exist. Their memory would live on in our hearts alone. Thank you, Heisuke. Please, Deliver my regards to Hijikata, though I've no doubt that he's somewhat conflicted about me as of our last conversation.
Nah, I don't think that Hijikata ever truly believed any of the things he may have accused you of. Maybe I'm just assuming here, but I believe the only reason Hijikata stopped you from entering the fray is because he didn't want to put your life at risk. Besides, if Hijikata had really thought that you betrayed him, he would have killed you on the spot. Furthermore, why the hell would he leave me behind in Edo if he hadn't wanted me to look out for your safety?
Good point. Back then, perhaps I had been too preoccupied in my own self-loathing, that I hadn't paid enough consideration to Hijikata's motives. All along, Hijikata carried my best interest at heart. The Shinsengumi is still my home. Oh, such a noble, sad prince.
Well, I think it's time for me to hit the road. Take care now, you two.
An affable smile wrapped around Heisuke's face. He spun around and pranced away to meet up with the rest of his Fury cohort to begin their long trek. He pranced away. Heisuke, and for all of our friends in the Shinsengumi, may the fortune of war be in your favor. Oh, they all died. I hope we don't have to read that. I hope it doesn't come out like it's not as bad. Like, oh, may the fortune be in your favor. We already know it's not, but I don't really want to read like, everyone died. Oh, my heart. Sanan and I curtly bowed in the direction they had begun walking, and we turned to face each other. Time for us to leave you, Gamora. Care to join me on one last adventure? Just you and me. God fuck yes. Yes, I'm never leaving you out of my sight ever again. Or letting you out of my sight ever again. Now we're going to get our final chapter. I love his path so much. I just want, you know what? It just makes me want to like hold his hand and like skip down the path. Look at you beaming and beautiful. I love you so much. This path is great. This path is fucking great. Oh, Sanan. It's gonna hurt me so much more when he betrays the Shinsengumi and all the other paths. It's really gonna hurt. Oh. I got nothing to say right now. I'm just like quiet. That was the. I'm just. Oh. It's just so beautiful. Oh, Sanan, I love you so much. Just even from the beginning, even from the first game, he's always been one of my favorites. And then like, hello, I mean, he got naked in front of us, half naked. But I feel so bad about that. Can we fix him? Like he's a broken puppet. That's sad. Oh, sad. Oh. Ugh. She was a lot less derpy in all of these CGs. Even with her big giant saucer derp eyes, they're still derp. Not as derp. Like, an okay level of derp. Like, I could handle her derp. Like, I don't think in any one of those I was like, see, I mean, her face ruins it. It didn't actually. Or I was just so distracted with his goddamn beautiful face that I didn't even notice her derp. See, I mean, that's just... Anyway. Yay! I mean, boo, final chapter, because we're only 4 parts in, but like, yay! Oh, God. June 1869. In Izo, a snowy island in the northernmost part of the country, cherry blossoms floated like a distant memory of the season long since past. The remnants of the shogunate forces were depleted, having tendered their surrender to the imperial army after their numbers made fighting an act of futility. Oh God, don't tell us all our friends are dead. A sea of broken arrows and swords covered the ground. So too had the Shinsengumi given up hope, as they joined the shogunate army in admitting total defeat. Bodies, scorched and mutilated beyond recognition, were scattered atop knolls throughout Izo, and in the cold, There was no way of telling who was who. Nevertheless, one thing in particular stood out to me. Every single warrior, living or dead, who had fought on these lands, had given their everything. No sign of cowardice or retreat tainted this sacred battleground. Dawn of the new age was rising in the east. As for Sonnen and myself, we embarked on a different path, one away from the friends we knew and loved. We better get a goddamn beautiful CG of just him. I just want just him. The snow's piling on pretty hard. Exert caution. If you separate from me, the blizzard may take you, so keep a tight hold of my hand. Snowfall, white as cotton, fell thick upon our tired shoulders as we trudged through the sleet. The Boshin War had only recently ended.
Boshin War, a war that included several conflicts during the period from 1868 to 1869. It signaled the end of the feudal daimyo system, the restoration of imperial rule, and the beginning of Japan's modernization.
Sonnen, or Keisuke as I now called him, and I were set on traveling west, as my father suggested, crossing our home's borders to a land completely unknown to us. We traveled through Izo and eventually across the ocean to a place called Europe. Just like, Europe. What magical. Without any real sense of direction or location. How come he didn't tell you? Did you get the... I mean, I don't know if they're going to explain that. Remember, he said drink the water and then go west? But, like... No! It's so odd to see snowfall at this time of year. Every time I spoke, white vapor followed my words like a plume of smoke. She's a little derpy in this one. Ruin it a little bit. Not too bad, though, but look at him, God. The biting chill made my teeth chatter, and I had never endured such harsh elements. No matter how many layers of clothing I wore, I shivered uncontrollably. That's how I fucking feel in my apartment. Are you freezing? Yes, but I'm fine. If you're okay, then I'm okay, Keisuke. I love it. I just love saying his name. No, Spacey. I'd rather you speak up and mention that you're feeling uncomfortable instead of freezing to death. In any case, why would you deprive me of an ample chance to hold you close to my body? Why would you? Is that what you really want? Yes, it is. If my and Keisuke's journey taught me one thing, it was that, below his impersonal veneer, Keisuke possessed a childlike sense of joy and curiosity. Oh my god, doesn't that make him so much more adorable? Because you knew he seems like, but he really wasn't. He was always so sweet and nice and adorable, like, in the very beginning before he hurt himself. And then you're like, but now you're like, oh, he's so cute. Throughout our travels together, he frequently poked fun at me for being meek or adverse to new experiences. But I had taken his actions as tokens of affection, and on this day, our love blossomed under snowflakes. Fine then. Yes, I'm cold. Is that so? Yes, I'm shivering to the bone. Sonnen was egging me on, being purposefully coy to satisfy his playfulness. This is adorable. I love him so fucking much. I can't handle this. Guys, my heart's like a vice. Oh god. Well, if I may offer a suggestion in this trying time, perhaps I can think of ways to warm you up. Oh dear God, please. Well, just say the word, or you can freeze. His face became suddenly stern as it approached my own within inches. Are you really going to make me jump through all these hoops for you? Yes. The sound is sweeter from your mouth. Fine. I'm freezing. Would you mind if I bundled up next to you? Why, yes, you may. Come closer then, my dear. Oh. Keisuke quickly wrapped me in his arms, and I sunk against his thick coat and felt myself relax. My cheeks were as rosy as they'd ever been, though perhaps not simply from the tundra. I hastily changed the subject, staring off in the distance at the blanket of snow in front of us. Anyways, our destination is pretty close now, isn't it? Correct. Past this ridge lies the land of the West, where the legend of the first Furies originated. It was said their furies sucked people dry of blood. So vampires. In the West, they call furies vampires. Ha! Ha! Like redeemed! I love it! Spacey has been calling the furies like, so they're pretty much like fucking vampires, like, right? And then, like, they call them vampires. So, okay, that's what they were going for the whole time. Well, oh, that feels great. And the key ingredient to the water of life is their blood. I really hope this trip through the cold is worth it. I mean, if you think about it, I was been right the whole time. Like, I'm like vampire. They're Furies. They're vampires. But okay, whatever. You know, they're demons and like. But the weird thing is like, because Kodo's like, oh, like the demons are they're Furies, but they're like demons, but they're not. But they're not. In Japan, they were demons. They were legit demons, not vampires. They were totally different. They didn't drink people's blood. Vampires do. But if you think about it, the secret to the water of life is their blood, which, yes, because a vampire should drink your blood, and then you drink their blood, and then you become a vampire. That's how it works. Everybody knows this. So essentially, we've been playing like samurai warrior vampire. I mean, I'm okay with that, and we knew that going the whole time, but it's just like they just admitted it, literally. We weren't just like, so like vampires, I guess? Legit vampires. We walked together hand in hand, feeling our feet sink slowly into the plush snow beneath us. In the back of my mind, I clung on to an inconvenient truth. That one day, Keisuke's body could turn to ash. No, you were supposed to drink that water in the whatever, the thing before you... Jesus, you didn't listen to Kodo. I would periodically awake in the dead of night from nightmares, afraid of his warmth eventually leaving me. But without fail, Keisuke would comfort me by stroking my hair and softly kissing my forehead, never failing to repeat one thing. I'll never leave you behind, Spacey. Oh my god, I love him so much. Please don't ever leave me. No, but you're leaving me behind right now. No, don't go. My heart is so broken right now. Oh my god, I love that path so much. I'm gonna die. I'm literally gonna curl up in a ball and like I'm just gonna go eat a bag of chips now out of like and cry out of joy. I don't even understand. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like I want to be depressed because it's over. Cascadilla. Cascadilla. Anyway, so I'm gonna wrap this part up here instead of starting, and in the next part we'll go down all the bad endings, and then we'll do the gallery. So that'll be so the next part will be the last part. But oh my god, great. Anyway, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.